Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm letsplay. We are back with Pumpkin Woods. Let's get playing. And my audio was not recorded, so I am voice-overing this video. My recording program just decided or it just changed my audio output, or input, and it didn't record anything. So yeah, the developers reached out to me and had let me know that to get the cat you needed the cheese, which was really nice of them to reach out and tell me that. So I'm grabbing the cheese here and we're gonna go try to get the cat. Wasn't too far, so we just made our way over to get the cat. I did try to put the cheese in my hand because I wasn't sure how we give the cat the cheese, but apparently just clicking on it gave him, he ate the cheese because I had 3 and now I have 2, and he started following me. I was pretty excited that the cat was following us, so I was like, yay, kitty! And I decided to head back up to our little base that we've got going on because there were some things that I wanted to take care of up there, so we started to just head back up to the base with the cat following us. I did check on the cat every now and then and to check that we were going the right way. I do really wish that there was some kind of like compass or mini map to help guide us. Because yeah, I kept having to check the map. The cat was really slow and I didn't want to stop and wait for it to catch up, so I just kept going without it. And eventually it does get stuck and stops following us, and I didn't want to go back for it because I just had stuff I wanted to get done, so I just kind of left it behind. I don't even know what the cat does or or anything like that, so I just was like, whatever. I left it back behind, and then I got back to our base and we needed to build the forge, so I went to build that but noticed we didn't have enough stone, so I had to go out and collect more stone, but I wanted to dump my pockets as much as I could before in case I had anything else that I wanted to gather up on the way. I only needed 2 pieces of stone to get the forge going, so I grabbed those 2, headed back to build the forge. I realized we needed our firewood, so I grabbed that, and then I was able to build it. After we built that, it did unlock some more quests. Some more quests to do, so I was looking through all the stuff we could build, and I was trying to figure out how to light it because it doesn't actually indicate how to light it, and then I ended up figuring out that you just take the metal and bring it over to it and just start smelting it, and then yeah, that's when I realized the cat wasn't with us. And yeah, you just smelt it and then it just started. You didn't need firewood or anything, which I thought was pretty cool, so we got that going. And I checked the quests and I needed to build a bed, but it also said that I needed to build a bed within a house and I had to clear out a house to do that. So I was like, okay, let's empty our pockets the best we can, so in case we want to grab some stuff up on the way while we try to find this house. And the boxes were all full, so I built another one and dumped more stuff into it. And then got a drink and headed out to find a house that we could call our home. From what I could tell, most of the houses that I've seen so far are only in... Oh yeah, I came across these cool trees. They were super cool, and I swear we need a pickaxe or something because that stone looks like something we should be able to harvest. But I never found the pickaxe or got to that point. So I don't know if there is one in the game or not. I wandered around picking up items and stuff looking for a house, and then I came across one and I was like, yeah, it's close enough to where we want to be. So I pulled out my broom, cleaned out the cobwebs, because it did say that the house had to be cleaned out before we could build a bed in it. I checked the box, we already had that scroll, so I put it back and dumped more of my stuff in there so we could gather more stuff from our old base to bring over. I was trying to break these chairs and stuff to make room for the bed, but I couldn't quite figure it out. And I didn't realize I needed some cloth and planks. So I decided to go back to our base to gather up some of the stuff from there. And after we got back, I gathered up the stuff that we would need to take with us. I decided not to take anything that was going to spoil because it was just going to spoil anyways. And pocket space is limited, so I just dumped that back in and took what we would really need over there. And we could always come back for the rest of the stuff later. Once I was satisfied with what I had, I returned back to the house. I gathered up the wood around it and tried to figure out how to break these chairs. I ended up right-clicking, which started punching it. So I was like, okay, cool. We just punch it, break it. And then I was like, well, maybe I could use my axe. And so I equipped the axe and it didn't work. So I unequipped it and started punching it again. I then moved on to this other chair, and then it started to show that I needed an axe to chop it, so I equipped the axe again and broke that down to get some fiber and broke this chair down and got some wood. Tried to dump my pocket again, the stack wouldn't stack, and then I realized it's a stack of 10 and that's as high as it goes, and I laughed at myself for trying to continue to stack that even though I couldn't. I needed more mushrooms to make more cloth, so I went out to gather more mushrooms. I tried to break down the scarecrow statue thing, so I couldn't, so I went back to the house, built some cloth, and then realized I needed planks to build the bed. So I stacked up our cloth. I needed more wood, so I went back to the base. I tried to dismantle this forge. I tried right-clicking, I tried left-clicking, I tried like every button. I couldn't figure out how to break down this stuff. I tried the axe, I tried punching it, nothing would work, so I decided just to move on and went back to the house to break down any of the firewood that we had into planks. Once we had the planks, I started chopping trees to get more wood, to get more planks, because I knew we were going to need a lot of planks. We had 5. I think I needed like 8 for the bed and more storage because I couldn't break down the other storage boxes, so I just continued to break down trees to get the firewood, to break down the firewood to get the planks. But my axe broke, so I picked up the firewood to take with us, and I knew I had an axe, but it was back at the other base. So I decided to build the bed, which I didn't have enough planks for still. And I started heading back to the other base and then realized I probably should dump our pockets. So I decided to build, with our precious planks, another storage box, and realized I can't build storage boxes in the house. So I built them outside the house, and I wish I would have spaced them apart because they're actually kind of hard to get into when they're that close to each other. Like, see, I just kept clicking the same one over and over. So I dumped what I could out of my pockets and then made my way back to the other camp to get more supplies and that other axe. On the way, I also grabbed up stones to build another furnace, other resources on the way because I knew we were going to need it for crafting more stuff. Again, I kept getting lost because there's no indicator, there's no map, like mini map. I grabbed up anything that wasn't going to spoil, double checking all the boxes, triple checking because I kept clicking the same boxes over and over. And once I was satisfied I had everything that wasn't going to spoil out, I decided to leave and gather more wood. I wanted to just grab up the firewood because it takes a long time to break it down, so I just gonna grab the tree, like break the trees, grab the wood, and take all the wood back to the base, and then I would just chop it all together instead of individually. I found this strange plant, wasn't sure what it did. I never checked it. It was probably a potion ingredient, but we weren't able to do potions, so I never really checked it. I just grabbed it. Knowing we'd need a lot of wood, I continued to grab up all these trees and firewood to take back to the house. Once I got bored of that, I headed back to the house. and started to put out the firewood so I could cut the firewood down into the planks. I decided to chop all the firewood at once instead of like chopping and then picking up, because sometimes you misclick. The aiming is a little harder to do, so sometimes I chop wrong piles that I'm not meaning to chop yet, or like I'll go to pick up a plank and I'd pick up the firewood. So I just decided to leave all the planks on the ground until I finished chopping all the firewood. Then after gathering all of the planks, I tried to make the bed, realized I didn't have my cloth. Went to find it, but because I'm such a hoarder, took me a while to find it. And then I did find it and I built our first bed, which is actually really pretty. That did unlock a few other things, but I realized I needed a campfire because I was getting hungry and I was running out of food. And then I realized also that I left all the cook pots back at the other little town, and I didn't want to go all the way back over there, so I just figured I would build a little campfire to cook food on that. And then I wanted to build the forge, but then I realized I needed more firewood, and I was out of firewood because I just cut it all down into planks. So I decided I would just wait on that and I would go to sleep because I wanted to see what happened when we go to sleep. And then I noticed it did start raising my fun when we slept. That also dropped my food and my water, and I was running out of food because I didn't eat my food and it spoiled, which I should have eaten it, hindsight. Should have just eaten it and topped off my food, but I didn't and it spoiled, so now I needed to collect pumpkins to make pumpkin bread, and since we were in a pumpkin patch, that worked out. So I went around really quick and I gathered up mushrooms, sticks, you know, and some pumpkins. Before heading back to crack open the pumpkins and cook more food, I did realize that we could make crop plots, but I didn't have the soil and the wood for it, and I didn't want to gather all the wood for it, so I decided not to do that and just make the pumpkin bread from what I had. And I ate that up, and then I decided I wanted to sleep more to try to get my fun up higher, because yeah, we kept suffering with the low fun. But my water drained and I had to go find a well to get a drink of water. Collecting pumpkins on the way, because we're always gonna need food. I also decided I needed more firewood and planks, so I just started chopping more trees to gather more resources to build more stuff. She kept yelling at me that my backpack was full too. And then I noticed it. It's a unicorn. And I was like, oh my god, a beautiful unicorn. So I went over to be friends with it and it started attacking me. So I decided to run. And because I couldn't hit it with the axe, I ran back to our house and got inside and shut the door. And it was still hell-bent on getting me. So I ate the fairy dust because I didn't have any food, and I decided to try to attack the unicorn with a knife, and it killed me. So we had a death by unicorn. Like, come on, who gets killed by a unicorn? So then I decided to start a new map that would have the monsters and the wolves, supposed monsters. I never actually saw the monsters, but that's what it says when you're clicking into the worlds, that this world will have wolves and monsters. And I wanted to see what the gameplay would be like with the wolves and the monsters. I really wanted to see the monsters and see what they were, but I didn't actually end up ever seeing them. So right now I'm just kind of gathering resources and food to restart our journey. We did come across the vendor pretty quick, and because I am a loot goblin, I went ahead and went through all of her boxes, read all of her letters, and stole her money. I decided I needed to find a house. That was our main goal. I needed to find a house because we now knew that we needed a house to build our bed and other things. And if I was just going to be building at a house, I wanted all of our stuff there because I don't know how to dismantle and I never could figure out. I got distracted with the bunny. But yeah, I couldn't figure out how to dismantle things, so I've just decided to find a house. So that's what I was doing here, is trying to find a house that we could call home for a little bit while we figured out, you know, more of the game. I kept getting into other biomes, and I wanted to stay within the green, like, pine forest biome, because I've noticed that that's where the houses were. So I kept trying to stay within that, but I was like on the cusp of all these other like biomes, and then I came across this little like farmland, so it had a bunch of firewood, so I was really glad about that. I read that letter and dropped it, and then continued on looting up this little area looking for a house. I did see a house in the distance, so I decided to check it out, and it turned out to be a pretty cool house. It had money downstairs and even more money upstairs, which my little loot goblin self was very happy about. I did try to break down the furniture to see if I could take this place as my house, but it wouldn't let me break it, and then I struggled to shut the door. I wanted to head back over to the green pine forest area, because that's where we'd seen the most houses, and still trying to find this house. That's where I tried to head for, and I ended up in another biome. So I was on the cusp of like 3 different biomes. I saw another house, but it was the same house, so I turned around because I got turned around, and then I saw this little structure, which I didn't ever figure out what this was yet because we never got farther into the story. So I left the plate there because it's just going to take up valuable pocket space, and I continued on my way. So at least now we knew where the purple ferns were, so when we needed the fiber, we could come back for it. But I still needed that house, so I continued on my way to find that house. Kept getting turned around, so I had to check the map a lot. And I was getting hungry, so I ate up all the berries that I had in my inventory. Continuing on, trying to find that house. I was gathering up resources on the way because I knew we needed to build a bunch of stuff once we got to a house. I found this little camp, and in this box there was a piece of silver. And then I ran into this bush, which scared me, and then a wolf started attacking me, which also scared me, so I got jump scared right there. And now I had a wolf chasing me, so I just kept running, trying to find a house that I could hide in while I tried to figure out my life. I actually ended up worrying that I was going to end up like that guy, so I jumped on his little cart to see if I could get away from the wolf, but the wolf just ran up the cart and bit me in the ass. So I continued running. We hit the hedge wall, so I started running along it, trying to find a house, and eventually I did find a house which had another wolf at it. So I ran inside, being bitten, and I hid in the house for a minute, checked the box. There was a scroll to make a wand, so I learned that, and put down some stuff that I didn't feel like I really needed at the moment because my pocket space was limited. I needed to build a fire, and as I came out, the wolves bit me, but they were still stuck in the wall. So I built the little fire, and then I grabbed at the firewood, and that got the other wolf freed. But as I came into the house, the one wolf started biting me. I wanted to keep this house as my house, so I was like, well, I'll just start, clearing out things that I can. So I started punching this chair to break it down. I didn't have an axe yet, so I couldn't break down the other ones, so I decided to eat some mushrooms, hopefully to help heal my life. It didn't, so I had to go back out, got bit by wolves again, lit the campfire, and cooked up the mushrooms that I could. Holding shift let me cook multiples, which was pretty cool. The devs did tell me that that was a thing. One wolf despawned or vanished. I don't know what happened to it. So I was left with just the one wolf who was stuck in the wall at the moment. And I was happy about that, but he does get free and starts biting me again. So I go in the house to check this recipe for a bigger backpack. And I needed fiber, which we needed a knife, and I didn't have a knife, so I couldn't get fiber. And I saw this other house, so I decided to go check it out, grabbing mushrooms on the way to either eat or eventually craft with. Inside the house, I found some jam and a knife, so I took the knife and the money and the jam, and then I realized I could equip my sword, so my knife, so I equipped that, picked up the book, learned to make witchy stuff, and took that back. The jam I did see that I could eat, so I was like, all right, I'll save that for later when I'm really hungry. And the wolf was trying to get me. This door wouldn't unlock. I tried to stab the wolf, couldn't stab the wolf, so I continued on. We found another house pretty quick. I got stuck on the door. I thought I broke the game because I was like stuck. I went inside, closed the door, checked the box. It was already, that scroll was a wand that I already just read in the other house, so I left it there and came across another vendor. He wouldn't talk to me and I couldn't figure out why, so I just went to his little shop and I was surprised by what he had. Eggs, cookpots, books. He had a shovel, which I was like really interested in. He had chaps and horse hoof shoes and things like that. So I really liked this vendor. Being the loot goblin I am, I went through all of his stuff to see if I could steal anything. I didn't ever check that second box, that back cabinet, which I'm kind of mad about, but I decided to go to sleep because I wanted to make it nighttime to see if we could see any monsters. But I kept getting thirsty and hungry, so I had to go out to get water, trying to keep clear of wolves. And then I went back into his house to go back to sleep, trying to make it nighttime. I couldn't tell what time of day it was, so I wasn't sure like how long I needed to sleep, and my food was dropping super fast, so I couldn't sleep for very long. I ate the jam and then decided I needed to explore more because it wasn't quite dark enough, so I went back to sleep. But I really wanted to explore more at night, but I also didn't want to just spend all my time sleeping, so I wasn't sure like what time of day it was. It was hard to tell. I kept trying to sleep to get it to be nighttime. And then I was thirsty again, so I went to get another drink. And I wanted to head over to the like blue forest to get more some of the purple ferns so I could get the fiber, but I decided I saw a dig spot, so I sold a couple things, which I probably shouldn't have because it was food, and I decided to get the shovel to dig up the spot. Digging up the spot, I got gold. I didn't know if we would get gold from every dig spot or if it was something different every time, and I wanted to see what we would get if we found other dig spots, so I wasn't too mad that I got, you know, the shovel. Continue on towards the blue forest. I did come across a couple more dig spots and they all had gold within them, so that was pretty cool. I was excited to see how much I could sell the gold for later when we got back to the vendor. My pocket was full, so I ate the mushrooms. I figured we could always grab more mushrooms, but I needed the fiber, so I went about chopping up these purple ferns to get more fiber. While I was chopping the ferns, I saw a frog and I was like, ooh, frog. So I wanted to see if I could get it. I dropped my fiber or my fabric, and I was able to get a frog. I wanted to see if I could lick it or eat it, but I couldn't lick it or eat it, but I could extract it. And I didn't know what that was, so I backed out and saw that it was dropping these. I drank it and it made my happiness go down, so I stopped drinking it. You know, who would have thought that drinking frog slime was bad for you? I actually had enough fiber to make a basket, so I crafted that to extend our pocket inventory, equipped that, and was able to pick up the stuff that I had dropped. I got some water and continued on harvesting up purple ferns for more fiber because I knew we were going to need a lot of it for crafting stuff. I wanted to see how much we could sell the frog extract for because we just had the frog. Then I saw another frog and I was trying to get it, but they didn't stack, so my pocket was full and I couldn't get it. I came across another dig site, so I dug it up, got more gold. I was excited to see how much money we could make from selling to this guy. Got distracted with the bunnies. I tried to chase it to see if I could get it. Got distracted with the deer. Started stabbing the deer. Deer almost wrecked me, so I ran away from the deer, hiding in the vendor's house. I went back out to see if I could just confront the deer, but he was gone, and so was the vendor. So I decided to go over to the other vendor, and I think because it was now finally nighttime that the vendors were gone. I was excited that it was nighttime because I wanted to see the monsters, but like I said, I never did see the monsters. I don't know if I wasn't in the right biome, if I just didn't explore enough, I don't know. The other vendor was also gone, so I never got to sell my stuff to see how much it would sell for because I went out into the woods to head back to a house to build a fire. And I was gonna just take over this house because it was right here by the vendor. And I dumped some stuff because I was like, I can always come back for it. I needed pine cones to build a campfire so I could make more food. So I started gathering up pine cones to make a fire to craft food. I then realized I had no food that I could actually cook, so I tried to pick up mushrooms, and then we came across the wolf, which I tried to kill, and he killed me. And that was that. Oh my gosh, that was fun and crazy, and oh my gosh, I like this game. It's a lot of fun. It needs a little work, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. But that was that. Yeah, I don't know what you guys thought of it. I hope you guys liked it. I wish my recording would have captured my voice because it was really funny on some parts, but yeah, I want to say thank you to my members who've joined the channel. You guys are great, and I appreciate you for supporting the channel. If you'd like to join the channel, click that join button down below, and I'll tell you all about the perks and things. I don't think I'll play another piece of this. We got pretty much a good gist of it. It needs a little work. If they do some more updates, I might come back with another part. But yeah, until then, I'm just going to call it here. So thank you so much for watching me play Pumpkin Woods. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notifications to watch me play more. And I'll play with you again soon. Bye.
Bye.